What's good, y'all? PJ Max here. Welcome to the channel. Back to the last video. I'm bringing up a topic back from the last video, so people don't just people don't confuse anything. I say I say that certain people are your enemy, like, and these people they believe, like I'll bring up the Hebrew Israelite thing, right? I'm not worried about the Hebrew Israelites, right? If a Hebrew Israelite came up to me and said, "Hey man, them 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 white folk are the devil," which they have, and they would ask me, "Is your pops or mom black?" I was like, "My pops is black." They have like, "Then you were chosen a chosen part of the 12, the 13 tribes, um, and you're one of God's chosen." And these motherfuckers, these dudes are racist, dude. They really say white people is Satan, and they're training hard. They're training hard, and I need to ramp it up in my training. And I'm not saying they are my enemies because I'm not fighting against them, right? But at the end of the day, I am called to be a pacifist. That's why I'm not in prison, never killed nobody, never robbed nobody. I try to be peaceful. And so, if these guys are out there and they have this certain way, but I have a certain way. I believe everybody has the right to get into heaven. It doesn't matter if you're gay, or racist, or pedophile, or it doesn't matter who you are, no matter what sin, right? It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, your true self is not who, like the Hebrew Israelites, they believe in something false. They aren't being their true selves. If they knew truth, they wouldn't act like that. So I believe everybody has certain ideologies, right? And I'm not your enemy by the flesh. But but by the spirit, by the spirit, I'm not talking about you, but a generalized thing, like if somebody's against Christ, then they're against, if they decline Christ, then they're against me and Christ. That's how I see it. And see, some of these guys are training. They're training hard because they believe they know the true the truth, right? Me, I say, I believe I know truth. I feel, no, I say, I believe I know truth because I envision truth. Get, get, get back. About to knock over my phone. Get back, dude. Relax. Chillax. Dude. These motherfucking cats, dude. Love them to death. But hey, these motherfuckers, man. But like I'm saying, somebody could believe anything they want to, right? Uh, I'm fine with that, right? But if something were to happen and everybody had to like fiend for themselves, where are you really going, man? What if it was like World War III and shit hit the fan? What if it was like a civil war in America? Those Hebrew Israelites would go out, probably murder some white people. Who fucking knows? And I don't know. I don't know. But some of these guys are very hateful. Some of them aren't. And I'm not talking about the whole Hebrew Israelite, but for all the ones that I've met, they're they're pretty militant. And you'll see it. Even these Muslims, a lot of them are very militant. You know what I'm saying? Jim Jones, the Jim Jones massacre. That motherfucking cult, right? I don't know how many people was on that island, but there was a few. I think there was a couple hundred, and motherfuckers poisoned the Kool-Aid, shot those motherfuckers down. That's insane, dude. But think, what do you believe in? Because me, I feel like I'm as solid as it gets. I mean, for me, what do you believe in that where you're like, I'm kind of unsure. I'm kind of on the edge. I'm kind of struggling here. I'm kind of feeling like life is fucking tough, which it is. But with my Lord that I believe in, I'm not too worried about anything. I would die for my Lord. Now, if you don't believe in a God, then that's a problem. Maybe not. Maybe not. If that's what you want to believe. But I'm saying if you have some like, maybe I don't feel so solid. Maybe I don't feel so solid. Maybe it's kind of your unbelief in God or a God. Then maybe you'll see that a lot of the shit that you see, these world powers, the U.S. government, right? Come on, dude, right? Maybe not, maybe not. And then you never know. If you're living in the last days, dude. You don't ever know. Trump, I don't know what he's doing, except he's doing something. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's making the economy better, making America great again, which would be great. But in a time of uncertainty, kind of want to be like, hey, I want to believe in something to make me feel solid within my own mind, body, and soul. But everybody's so conditioned to be a lot of people, like a lot of people are so conditioned to be antisocial. uh, unsociable. I mean, and that's kind of me. I'm trying to break out of that because I know I have to. Uh, a lot of people who are unconfident. Um, a lot of people who want to trying to call up for attention. A lot of people trying to do just the weirdest shit, like look maxing and all this shit is big, dude. And you'll be like, Paul, you're talking in circles. No, I'm not. I'm not talking in circles. I'm talking about some shit that's happening in society that you'd be like, it's uncertain that why is a lot of people single nowadays? Why is a lot of people uh uh it's just like a lot of problems, right? So you gotta have something, right? And if you're not holding on, if you don't know what to hold on to, you're probably gonna off yourself. You're probably gonna go kill somebody, go into prison, unguided men. I didn't really have, I was adopted at 6, turning 7 in about 2 months after I was adopted, so pretty much 7. But a lot of shit happened. I've seen a lot of things. That's why I'm, by myself. But again, the enemy that is within the spirit attacked me when I was younger. That's why I'm like this now. But when I say I'm training for my enemies, I'm training for the enemies within the spirit, right? Whether you're whether the populace is aware of the enemies within the spirit or not, I'm being prepared for the enemies of the spirit, because the enemies of the spirit can come from anyone, right? That's what I'm talking about. Then, if it's coming from anybody because of this spirit, this spirit could also get physical because it's within this physical body, right? So fucking motherfuckers who would murder somebody or rape somebody or molest somebody, they have this spirit within, or what I would say, this LGBTQ plus shit, this spirit, this enemy spirit. I'm not saying the people the people who do these acts are necessarily like the person who commits murder. They have that spirit, dude. They have that spirit within them. And then you can have people who had this spirit or demon within them or attached to them, this baggage, the skeleton within the closet, the monsters under the bed. They have all that luggage and baggage. Who do you go to for all that luggage and baggage? And the world's problems and your problems. That's why I'm training for the enemies and living first for the Lord. So I believe the Lord has called me to be by myself. So I'm by myself. Because I got to train for my enemies. training for your enemies, dude. Train for your enemies. And the enemies that you're training for aren't really physical enemies. These are spiritual enemies that are attached and baggaged to people. It's luggage. It's a burden. You know what I'm saying? And so, when you lived your life, really think what do you believe? Yeah, you know, when you live your life, really try to figure that out. All right, y'all. I'll catch you on the flip side. Subscribe.